My fellow internetizens, it is my pleasure to inform you that I've signed legislation that means today we are playing Democracy 3. Yeah, this is, as I understand it, a government management sim. It's not a game I had any interest in playing until I saw a few other people's videos on it, and suddenly it looked like amazing fun. So I thought, let's give it a go. This is as far as I've been so far, but it's time to start that new game. So, which country do we want to govern? Which country is going to be the foundation of our utopia? There's really no question. It's the United Kingdom. It's my country. I'm British. I've lived here all my life. I have never been outside its borders. United Kingdom, I will play you. My party, the Liberal Party, no. Can I enter my own name here? Yes. The Two Pie Party. Yes, we are got the Two Pie Party, bringing Britain the twin pleasures of pastry and geometry. And the opposition is the Freedom Party. Oh yes, the enemies of pastry and geometry. Yep, monarchy on, compulsory voting off, difficulty 100%. That looks like it's got a medium difficulty setting. Looks good. Let's click go. Click to return to government. Cool. Congratulations on your election victory. Welcome to your new job as Prime Minister. The lives of all 63 million citizens are in your hands. As you can imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns you will need to deal with as soon as possible. Okay, and we'll face re-election in 4 years, so I have to be popular. Oh, and this guy who looks a little bit like a cross between Tony Blair and Prince Charles is apparently my Chief of Staff. Okay, press begin term of office. Okay, this screen is the current state of the country, blah 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 blah. Okay, the strips represent groups of voters. Yeah, so green is good, yellow is medium, and red people who want to kill me. White icons are policies. You start the game with some implemented, but it can be cancelled and added. Okay. Blue icons represent statistical data such as GDP, crime, education, blah blah blah. Okay. Red or green icons are situations, which are ongoing events, I guess like sports events or obesity epidemics. And these things are all connected, and if you hover your mouse over something you can see how they're connected. So if we look at, I don't know, the fist, where did the fist go? I thought there was a fist icon. Okay, this thing here, nothing. Oh, I see, that's tobacco tax, which is having a negative effect on everyone, because everyone hates me because they're having to pay more for tobacco. Has a negative effect on equality, a negative effect on tobacco usage, but is a good. Oh, but he's helping. I see. So it's bad for equality, bad for tobacco usage, but good for poverty because it's keeping people poor because they're having to pay more for their cigarettes. I see. So this one, the environment. This is quite cool actually. So the environment is being helped by our recycling and pollution controls and our energy subsidies, but it's not helping the asthma epidemic, and it's been harmed by car usage and air travel, but the environmentalists are quite happy with it. I see. That's quite cool because, I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't really have strong philosophical political views. I know how I feel about certain issues, but whether that all comes together into some kind of holistic view of what a nation should be, I'm not so sure. Okay, next but the tutorial. So we can look at specific groups of voters. So if we click on middle income voters, we see something about who they are and what they think. So they don't like my income tax policies. They're okay about inheritance, property tax and homelessness. So if I click, okay, that's their happiness. Oh, this is a, no, I don't know what those buttons do. They don't seem to do anything. So this area, yeah, this is how they, yeah, that's pretty obvious. You can click on an individual effect as a shortcut to see more information about it. Oh, I see. So if we click on income tax, oh, Okay, I can see what different groups think of my income tax policies. Wow, the middle income people are really unhappy with my income tax policies, but oh, wait a minute, what's the difference in middle income? What's the difference between middle income and middle earnings? I don't know. Interesting. Slider can be used, so I can raise or lower income tax. So I could, if I raise it or lower it, so I see. So it alters how much money it's going to bring into the government coffers, basically. You'll notice that effects show two different values: the current darker effect and the effect with its slider to a new position. These values will move from where they are to the position over time. I see. So no, I can't experiment with that. Let's leave things as they are for now. Hit revert changes, yes, because we don't want to make any tax changes when we're just playing around with things during a tutorial. Time to check out the situations. That one, what's that? I imagine that says homelessness. Yeah, situations have inputs on the left, so they're caused. Homelessness is caused by poverty and unemployment. Makes sense. And is affecting the poor disproportionately. That's fair enough. The chart shows, okay, the value of homelessness. Two triggers. So, okay, when homelessness went above the line, it triggered this red circle on the home page, and to get rid of the red circle, it has to go below the green line. That's what that's saying. Okay, let's look at some other data. Take a look at some stats. Okay, let's click on this, whatever that is. Slight problem with the game design. The tutorial covering up the thing that actually says what this window represents. But okay, it seems to have the same kind of format. Political capital. That's this value up here. This is the amount of support my government has to get things done. You have a limited amount of political capital per turn, each turn being a quarter of a year. Wow. So you only get 4 turns a year. And when you run out, you need to end the turn to get more. Some can be carried over to the next turn, but not all. Political capital is used to adjust policies, cancel them, or introduce new ones. Okay. So more controversial policies like killing everyone over the age of 50 are going to require a lot of political capital points. Okay, so let's create a new policy. Tutorials move down there for no apparent reason. Okay. New policies can be put forward by my ministers, divided into categories. Okay. Those in red cannot be implemented due to a lack of political capital. Okay, so national service would require 50 political capital, and I've got 26. Okay, makes sense. Select a policy. Okay, what policy shall I implement? Now, I have to warn you, when I'm playing this game, I might start talking about politics and my own political views, and if that's going to bother you, you should click away now. Okay, where shall I implement? Consumer rights. At a minimum level, the state guarantees the consumer is not ripped off. So I can implement some more consumer rights legislation. Don't know if I want to do that or not. Subsidy for organic farming. Ooh, what do I want to do? Space program? No. Robotics research. Yep, that's that. I want robotics research. Long-term research will bring about vast boost in productivity, but will reduce the number of low or semi-skilled jobs in the economy and lead to higher unemployment. Ooh, I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want robotics research anymore. Oh no. What do I want to do? I'm suddenly torn. I don't want to risk making things worse in the country. Small business grants. Yeah, that sounds like a decent thing to do. This is a new policy. You can adjust the slider on new policies, so I can adjust how many grants I'm going to give out, I guess. And I see that this is quite popular. If I if I... Oh, it doesn't let me play with it. Oh, come on, game. Okay, so this is just a tutorial. It is not actually letting me affect the government. This is the quarterly report. We've got over Knox achievement, egalitarian miracle. Cool, I've made everyone feel equal. Yay, I've done nothing and it made everyone feel equal. Okay, so this tutorial is actually going to end now, thankfully, and I can get on with governing. And unfortunately... Oh, do I have to quit tutorial, do I? Because it won't let me close that, so maybe I have to quit the tutorial. Game designers, do not do this. Do not put me in a situation where I don't know where to click. Okay, quit tutorial, close that. Right. Quarterly report. Okay, so we've got GDP is kind of not great. What are the problems facing the nation? Unemployment basically is... There's no actual numbers beside this. I don't know how many people that means is that are unemployed, but I guess a lot. You know, as any statistics student will tell you, a graph without a scale is useless, or at best misleading. So unemployment is being helped. So unemployment is being caused by GDP, by a high GDP. I don't understand how that works at all. But it's causing the effects of a lot of unemployment benefits and some racial tensions, because of course people always want a scapegoat. Okay, there's an urgent policy question that demands my attention. Data collection agencies have been in the news because of aggressive methods they use to attract payment from people who owe large sums of money. These debt collection agencies provide credit to people whom larger, more respectable companies will not lend money. Yes, let's limit the loan sharks. We should definitely do that. People are indifferent to the government. If we get 66% of vote at the election, we've won, so that's fine. The Human Rights Society says it actively encourages its members to oppose the current government. What? What have I done? Who have I been torturing? Now I've got a £19 billion budget surplus. Okay. Right, so what have we got here? Obviously people aren't that happy with me. I should see what some of these things are though. Our industry is based way too much on old technology according to this. So maybe that robotics research was something I should have gone for. And our workers lack productivity, probably because we've got so much old technology. Right. We've got a bit of a homelessness crisis. So homelessness crisis we need to address. We could probably address that if we increase. So if we increase our technology base, will it help address the homelessness situation? I wonder. It may do. It may do. What have we got over here? Organised crime is high. That's not good either. So we need to fund the police a bit more to fight organised crime. There's an alcohol abuse epidemic. Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good at all. And there's an asthma epidemic. Okay, so what's causing the alcohol abuse? Yeah, alcohol consumption. Yup, that would be causing it. Alright. But unemployment. So if we can nail the unemployment problem. I still don't get how GDP is. Maybe that means GDP. Okay, GDP is helping against unemployment. That would actually make sense. Okay, so we need to do something about the productivity problems. Okay, how do we do that? Security briefing. What do these icons mean? The tutorial didn't tell me. Financial data. Implement new policies. Yeah, we probably want to implement new policies, don't we? So we need to do something. That robotics research would probably have been a good idea. We've got £19 billion. So let's. Was that a new policies button? can we do for the economy? Technology grants. I'll take 10 political capital. It's a distortion of the market, but that's okay. I think technology grants will help. Where's that robotics research? And robotics research. See, I worry about the robotics research reducing the number of low and semi-skilled jobs when we already know that the country has a bit of a problem with there not being highly skilled workers. Is that going to make things worse? I'm going to go for technology grants. We're going to implement that. Okay. Quite popular with the voters. What level do we want to have this at? So we've got a surplus of about 18 billion. I would say we spend about £7 billion on technology grants. The religious people won't like it. Why not? What do the religious people have against technology? I think that's the right thing to do. That will take 2 quarters to actually implement now. Yeah, so now that makes sense, right? We implement better technology grants to help us not be a technological backwater, which will help with the uncompetitive economy because it will boost productivity. That will help unemployment. Yeah. Which will... well, that's... okay, so that one is the unemployment... now that's homelessness actually. So that will help unemployment, which will help the homelessness situation and also help with the alcohol epidemic. What about the asthma epidemic? It's basically all the car usage. So I guess what can we do about car use? Bad cars. What does the game tell us? Measure how many miles per year the average household travels. I guess we either need public transport or more efficient cars. I mean, more efficient, more environmentally friendly cars is presumably going to be a side effect of better technology. So I guess what we need is better public transport. I really think we need better public transport in this country anyway. I mean, it's crazy. I drive 40 miles a day, which is nothing. I know there's somebody saying, oh, I drive 400 miles a day, but you know, it's from a commute point of view, that's fine. You know, it takes half hour there, half hour back. You know, from a cost point of view, it's fine, but I would rather not. I'd rather take public transport, but there is no viable public transport from where I live to where I work. None. It takes literally 5 times longer to get there on public transport than it does in the car. I don't have that kind of time to invest, and it costs more as well. So yeah, I think definitely we need to boost public transport. Ooh, we can subsidise biofuel. That might be a good idea as well. So if we do a low subsidy for biofuel, interestingly, biofuel is much more popular with the voters than bus subsidies. I wonder why that is. Satellite road pricing. Yeah, that would not be popular. National monorail. Oh, why is that grey? Takes 16 quarters to implement. No, not doing that. We could do a telecommuting initiative. I mean, is that going to be a better option, I wonder? Be quite cheap, quite quick. Okay, so we're going to do a telecommuting initiative, I think. Medium telecommuting initiative. Commuter membership will go down and car usage will go down. People will be happier. Yep, we're going to do that for certain. And then I want to go back there and... because I mean, one policy just is not enough. We need biofuel subsidies, I think. Yep. I think that sounds like a... a good idea, and I'm going to spend 2 billion a quarter just because I don't think you can actually solve I think with the way the British nation is laid out, I don't think you can actually solve the congestion problems, not the congestion problems, the pollution problems and the car usage using public transport alone, because people aren't living, people's houses and their workplaces are so spread out. They're not living close to work. They're not living in little, how can I put this? They're not, if you would need to set up a separate public transport route for pretty much everyone, because I bet I don't work within 5 miles of anybody else on my street. None of them are taking my commute. I'm not taking any of their commutes. So it would be very hard to set up buses or trains to satisfy everyone's needs, I think. Right, so we're going to subsidise biofuel. Okay, and if you will excuse me for just one moment, I am going to get another type of fuel. I need a cup of tea. Tea. Okay, so the other problem we've got in this country is the organised crime. So looks like we kind of basically need to boost intelligence services then. Now, I'm in two minds about this. I don't like the idea of the government spying on everyone. And especially, I think with modern data mining tools and things, it's going to be increasingly possible for the governments to really invade personal privacy in ways that, may not be malicious, but would definitely worrying and definitely open for abuse. But we have this organised crime problem in this game. I guess it's been fed by the drug. So let's actually click on organised crime. It's been caused by poor intelligence, basically. So we've got intelligence services. I could try to boost this a little. So they're currently on about 5. If I boost this to 6, if I give them a little boost, not a huge amount, just a little boost, how much political capital is that actually going to take? 20? Huh. Wait a minute. Okay, so whatever I change it is going to cost me 20 political capital. I think we've got to do it, but if it's going to cost that much capital, I would like to increase it a bit more. So £6.5 billion a quarter now going to be spent on this. Okay, so that's the problems. We've done something to address each of these, except for homelessness, I guess. But hopefully if we can do something about unemployment. I guess it's also telling me here that homelessness is partly being caused by poor unemployment benefit. We still have a little budget surplus. Is there something we can do about that? It would take 13 political capital to actually... Oh, no, that's the current political capital. Oh, I see. Oh, I was reading this wrong. So we've got 13. It would take 14 to increase unemployment benefit and 12 to lower it. Okay. And 27 to just cancel it entirely. Okay. So we can't do anything about that. Property tax is having an effect on homelessness, which is a little surprising. I can understand property tax making you want to move to a smaller house, but is a property tax significant for people in small houses already? Alright, what else is feeding into this? It is mostly just poverty in general and unemployment benefit. Oh no, wait, I read that wrong. Unemployment benefit is hurting this, which means it's unemployment benefit is preventing homelessness. Okay, sorry, I read that completely wrong. Which means private housing is also preventing homelessness, but poverty, immigration and unemployment. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything about that for right now. What's that one? Tourism. Okay, so we've dealt with some of the problems, or tried to deal. We've made steps towards dealing with some of the problems. What else can we do? Trade unions absolutely hate me by the looks of things. Why would they hate geometry and pastry? Do they not agree those are the twin pillars on which our society should be built? Now they're unhappy because of private schools, private healthcare and unemployment. Where is healthcare in this? Is that healthcare? No, it's abortion. Private schools. I guess that is one problem with this screen. It's hard to find exactly what you want. That's alcohol tax. Okay, oh, I see. So that's tax. That's public services. So environment, food standards, health. Okay, let's just look at this. Health. State health service here. Well, yeah, I don't have the capital to do anything with this. I love the NHS, but certainly the current day NHS has some bureaucratic, has some organisational issues that kind of lead to patients falling between the cracks. I would love to do something about those. And it would be really popular with voters, but yep, looks like it's not going to be possible this time. Shall I just end my turn there? Yeah, let's just end our turn. See what happens. Buying votes. Oh, game. I hope that's possible. Okay, so GDP. So health, education, poverty and crime. Okay, unemployment's bad. GDP needs help. Ban same-sex marriage. More liberal members have been carrying out same-sex marriages. Should we ban this at a constitutional level? No! Certainly not. Everyone should love. Everyone should be able to love and commit to the person they love. Okay, so what have we got here? Human Rights Society still hates our guts. We've got a budget surplus. We're popular with the masses. Pity we aren't having an election tomorrow. They're not amazed by my ministers, are they? Who are our ministers? Yep, so Two Pie Party are doing well. Oop, there's a tutorial back again. Activists help to get out the vote. Party members always turn up to vote. So since we started the game, the number of activists has just gone completely through the floor. Although maybe that's just because we were having an election then, and now we know there isn't one for another 4 years. Yeah, I wanted to actually find out about my government. That must be them. Okay, ministers, blah 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 blah. Okay. All right. So, is there anybody here who I should get rid of? Probably not. They all look reasonable, don't they? Transport Minister I'm not sure about, but well, the only way he's going to get experience is to stay in the job. Capitalists hate me. Capitalists really hate me. Can we do anything about that, I wonder? It's not terribly clear, is it? There are so many reasons the capitalists hate me, and excuse me there, I was just taking a sip of tea. Agricultural subsidies. I wonder if we should reduce those. Agricultural subsidies having a negative effect on health, interestingly. I would be tempted to reduce agricultural subsidies. What would be the effect, I wonder, if we dropped agricultural subsidies to £4 billion? I mean, it's not going to... We've got unemployment problems already, but... No, it's not worth it, is it? It's not worth it at all. So the changes we've made, of course, to try to help the unemployment and the transport and the health problems aren't going to take effect yet. We have some money still we could spend if we need to. Now we've got quite a bit of political capital to change things. What are self-employed people worried about? I think self-employed people are really important in the economy. Small businesses. You know, all too often we worry about the big megacorps, but it's the small businesses that really empower people and what have you. So they're worried about sales tax, capital gains tax, and corporation tax. Sales tax is one of those things I'm not that fond of, I have to say. I wonder what would be the effect of just lowering it slightly. I don't want to raise it, I want to revert. I want to lower it. So if I were to lower this to... Okay, revert the changes and just come back again. So if I were to lower it to 22%. If I just take pot sales tax down to 20%. How much money am I losing a quarter? About 5. Okay, I'm going to take sales tax down to 22%. Just a small tax cut there. Because I've nothing really else to do with that political capital. I want to drop it lower, but I'm aware that the budget problem... I'm aware we don't have that much of a budget surplus. Parents are really unhappy with the asthma epidemic. They're kind of concerned about the narcotics and handgun laws. They're quite happy with the telecommuting initiative, interestingly. I guess if you're a parent, telecommuting is really helpful because it means you can stay at home with the kids and look after them. If they're sick, if little Jimmy's got the runs or whatever, you don't have to use a day of holiday, you don't have to get a childminder, you can stay home and look after him while you work. Handgun laws, I don't know what the black arrows mean. Not totally clear, is it? Maybe it just means they're neutral about it. When it comes to guns, I'm aware, some people have a legitimate reason to have guns. I think if you don't have a reason to have a gun, you should not have a gun. And that's why I like a system where guns are licensed. So I'm not going to touch that. I think we're just going to go to the next turn, actually. See what happens. Making impossible promises. Well, that's the name of politics, isn't it? There's a stress epidemic. Telecommuting does not help with stress. Oh dear. And the Human Rights Society still doesn't like me. Doctors have warned that businesses are working people too hard, which is leading to dangerously high levels of stress. Calls for working time. I love that scream. Calls for working time legislation. Okay. So there's a stress epidemic somewhere on here. Nope. So if we wanted to impose stress, some kind of working time thing, I guess that comes under work safety, does it? I wonder if there's anything in the any kind of law and order policy we could bring in to help with the organised crime problem. One thing I notice about the way I'm playing this game, I'm very much focused on what are the problems and how can we solve them. I'm not so much looking at how I actually want to change the country. I just want to make it better, I just want to make things better. That's alcohol abuse I'm looking at, not organised crime. It's basically just the... Let's have a look at those. Let's go back and have a look at those law and order policies. What could we do? Curfews, death penalty, detention without trial, gambling. I could put some kind of... You know, I don't like gambling, but I recognise that a lot of people do. You know, gambling's dangerous. But I wouldn't want to ban it, you just force it underground. Internet censorship, legalising prostitution. What are the pros and cons of that, I wonder? Conservatives claim legalisation would mark a decline in family values. No, because, you know, the idea that prostitution, because prostitution is illegal, means prostitution doesn't happen, is just wrong. It's just wrong, and I don't think legalising the practice would really affect things all that much. It'd probably be really good for the workers involved. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's legalise prostitution. It's free. Okay, let's do it. So what is this? This is a... I'm not sure what this slider is actually representing here. It's not doing a good job of explaining it. Oh, the intensity. How much prostitution do we want to legalise? We'll legalise a medium amount of prostitution, I think. I mean, maybe that means that was the current level for that policy anyway. But yeah, okay, so where was I? That's not the right place at all. Prisoner tagging. Private prisons, tasers. I like the idea of sort of disabling weapons. You know, I know there's sort of technological issues there, and I know maybe it could encourage police to fire first and ask questions later. And I know, you know, there's the risk that you could trigger someone's pacemaker to fail or give them a heart attack or whatever. But it's got to be better than shooting people. Yeah, I think we should do this, definitely. Medium, yeah, medium taser usage. Definitely a thing to do. Religious symbols in schools. It was precious to introduce a law to ban the wearing of religious symbols in schools. This would include the wearing of the hijab by female Muslims and the wearing of a cross by Christians. No! No. No, we do not ban kids from having religion. I'm an atheist, but we just don't do that. That's not what we do at all. Okay, well, I'm going to stop the video there, but I'll be back soon and continue my journey towards Utopia.